What if I told you the last true Japanese superbike naked just came back in 2026? Honda CB1300. A name that hasn't just survived decades, it defined what a big four-cylinder street bike should feel like. But now, with emissions laws tightening, electrification rising, and downsizing becoming the norm, this comeback might mean something far bigger. This might be the final Super 4 era. Let's break it down. For years, the CB1300 quietly disappeared from global attention. Not because it failed, but because the industry moved away from big displacement naked bikes. Most brands went lighter, smaller engines, turbocharging, hybrid concepts. But Honda didn't kill the CB1300. They waited. And now in 2026, the CB1300 name is back in the conversation. Not as nostalgia, not as a museum bike, but as a statement. A statement that says, there's still room for real engines, real metal, real mechanical motorcycles. And that alone makes this bike special. At first glance, this looks like classic CB DNA. Round headlamp, upright stance, muscular fuel tank, twin shocks upper rear. But look closer. The proportions are tighter. The surfaces are sharper. The lighting is fully modern. This isn't retro cosplay. This is retro authority. Honda didn't modernize the CB1300 by hiding its identity. They modernized it by respecting it. And that's rare in 2026. Where many bikes feel designed by algorithms, the CB1300 still looks engineered by humans. Heavy, solid, mechanical. Exactly how a Super 4 should feel. Let's talk about the heart of this bike. 4 cylinders, naturally aspirated, no turbo, no hybrid assist, no artificial sound enhancement, just combustion, air, fuel, metal. In a world where most manufacturers are downsizing to twins and triples, Honda doubling down on an inline-four naked in 2026 is almost rebellious. And that's the point, because CB1300 riders don't want peak efficiency. They want smoothness across the rev range, linear torque delivery, mechanical engine feel, that unmistakable 4-cylinder exhaust character. This bike isn't about lap times, it's about connection, throttle response, engine vibration through the bars, that feeling when the revs climb and the bike doesn't rush, it pulls. Slow, heavy, confident, the way big bikes used to feel. And maybe the way they won't much longer. So, why now? Why revive the CB1300 in 2026 when the industry is racing toward electrification and hybrid platforms? Because Honda sees something most brands ignore: emotion. Right now, the market is flooded with fast bikes, but riders aren't chasing speed anymore. They're chasing character. They want motorcycles that feel meaningful, not just measurable. And nothing delivers emotional riding like a large displacement engine, a steel frame, a relaxed upright riding position, and a bike that doesn't try to be something it's not. The CB1300 doesn't pretend to be futuristic. It doesn't chase hyper-naked trends. It simply says, this is what a motorcycle used to be, and maybe what it should still be. In a future dominated by screens and software, this bike feels almost analog. And that might be exactly why Honda brought it back. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Big, naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engines are becoming endangered. Emission standards are tightening, manufacturing costs are rising, electric platforms are expanding, and most brands are already preparing for a post-combustion future. So when Honda launches a bike like this in 2026, it doesn't feel like the beginning. It feels like a farewell tour. Not because Honda is done with combustion, but because this era, of heavy, metal, mechanical street bikes might be nearing its end. And the CB1300 doesn't try to escape that reality. It embraces it. This bike isn't chasing the future, it's honoring the past with dignity. And that makes it more powerful than any spec sheet. The 2026 Honda CB1300 isn't the fastest naked bike. It's not the lightest. It's not the most technologically advanced. But it might be something more rare. It might be the last real Super 4. A motorcycle built not for trends, but for riders who still believe. Bigger engines should feel bigger. Weight should feel planted. And motorcycles should feel mechanical. And if this truly is the end of an era, then Honda didn't just bring back a bike, they brought back a legacy. So now, I want to ask you, would you choose this over modern twins and triples? Is this the future of retro, or the final chapter of the Super 4 era? Drop your thoughts below. And if you want to see how this stacks up against the Kawasaki Z900 RS, you already know what's coming next. Subscribe.